Welcome back, old-timey Latin grammar enthusiast, to Gambit, dealing with the genitive. Now, the ancients only viewed the genitive as of. Honestly, of. But 19th century grammarians, because they didn't have the internet and not enough cat videos to waste their time, instead wasted it coming up with these bizarre meanings of the genitive to frustrate Latin students and to give the AP something to down-trick you on. So, with the help of Gambit, we shall analyze all the uses of the genitive, which are 5. Genitive possession, okay? Partitive genitive, okay. Genitive with impersonal verb, rare. Objective genitive, yeah. And genitive description, common. So let's begin with the first part. Genitive possession, obviously, it's when you have a noun, the house of the king or queen of the king, my friend of mine, etc. Partitive genitive is when you have a part of the whole. It is therefore an extension of possessive genitive. Anything that deals with partition, some or part or all. For example, if there was a number of wine, that would be a partitive genitive. A partitive genitive is used with numbers primarily, 100 of soldiers, 1,000 of paces, or many or few, many of the soldiers. Instead of saying multi milites, you could say multi militum, partitive genitive. Genitive with impersonal verbs, such as interest and refert, very uncommon, take the genitive of the person affected. So, in other words, it was of interest that Milo should die. It was of interest of Clodius. I see something that would be interested of mine. But generally speaking, the genitive is really going to often found with these impersonal verbs with an object or an accusative object or even an ablative. So this is rare. What isn't rare is when you have verbs of reminding, remembering, or forgetting. They take the genitive. All right. He reminded you of your old friendship. So therefore, but remember, verbs of remembering can also take the ablative with day, and the accusative neuter. So therefore, it will occur for the objective genitive, but rarely. Genitive description is very common. So in other words, not possessive, but the genitive becomes almost an adjective. A man of great authority, a man of no account, a journey of 3 days. You will not receive the hospitality of much food or the guest of a small eater, but of a great joker. Genitive of quality, called the genitive description, like an adjective, is not used with a proper name. So therefore, very straightforward. Now let's play with it. Not were, look for the participle, had been destroyed. The brothers of a powerful woman had been destroyed. Obviously dealing with possessive. Adiabar, I was being heard by few of the troublesome sisters. Now, few and many, and that's a description of size or quality or quantity. Therefore, you're dealing with a partitive genitive. So, like council of all Gaul, etc., etc., etc. So, and then finally, Flavia was assisting a desire of the desirous queen of the queen desirous of water. So you're dealing here with a genitive of description, right? That describes what she's desirous of. Although it could also be an objective genitive, but I think it's probably a genitive of description, how she is desirous. So that's about all you have to worry about for Gambit. Just some genitives, play around with them, get used to them, realize there's a lot of argument on the AP, and therefore when you deal with anything of describing the genitive, it's going to be very straightforward. It's either going to be possessive, partitive, or descriptive. And until that next time, have fun with the exercises and aloha.